Who fool aren't we with the creations we put before ourselves? Who fool art the sinner and who fool art the sin? Questions we must ask every day. It's crazy. Oh boy. It's me from New Jersey, your New Jersey pastor. No, I'm not a spaghetti. Could be though, I'm skinny like one. It's me, your skinny New Jersey junior pastor. Yummy yummy, they call me linguine in prison. Why? It's cause I'm fucking tasty. I'm a tasty old boy. That's me, your pastor, Mr. Linguini. Many things I've come to ask of you. You know, chutzpah. You know it's crazy sometimes. Oh my god, that's my own stream, kicking up and doing stuff like that. You know, you can never touch, you can never trust a stream report. These computers, I tell you, it's like I'm talking directly into the mouth of Steve Jobs, famous manager of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs Senior. Oh boy. You thought the son was bad, wait till you meet the father. It's crazy, I tell you. And who knows where these things come from. I can tell you. Let me tell you, from Steve Jobs Senior to Steve Jobs the Second, it's a fucking crazy roadshow. Guess what, bitches? Guess what? It's crazy. It's crazy right now. It's getting crazy up in here. You hear that gentle music? Slapping your ears? Like some bizarre BDSM practitioner? You might notice something a little different tonight. Which is we're fixing the stream during the stream. Fuck. That wasn't the right button. But you know what? They say you're always able to try another day. So we're gonna fix it right here, and then I'll come back around to the point I was talking about just there. Which is truly what makes me far more fearful. But what's fear but a crazy thing, am I right? Ain't nothing but a thing. We're gonna add a new source instead. This is gonna be the special source. Ooh, capture method. Automatic. Display 3, and then we're gonna transform this source, this special source, to fit the screen. Oh, did you say Xander? Xander, B, where did you go? Well, that's the secret to my special source. I was here the entire time. Now, isn't that crazy, folks? Isn't that wild? Radical. A little pizzazz. Well, the real thing that we were going to talk about, you and me, here tonight, we were going to talk about the fact you may have noticed some crazy changes going on around here. I'm dressed like a man. And, you know, I was having all these funky dunky thoughts up in my head, and I was like, you know, it'd be crazy. You know how we test? You're like, okay, let me rephrase. I was thinking, Well, I was thinking, you see, you understand, you see, you've got to understand to see. To see, it's an interesting thing, but let's understand that I dressed like this because I was like, you know how we test if someone's transgender or not? Someone's one of those funky, what is it? What is it out there, folks? I don't understand kids these days, it's crazy. If someone's one of those funky transgender folks, now I don't want to spook out anyone in there, anyone out in the audience out there right now. It's a little wacky, I understand. I mean, boy and girl, that's what we had. Well, where'd my gender norms go? And I tell you, not here. Hey, Miss Bud, you may notice I'm dressed like a dude. I got out my most classically masculine clothes. I was like, how do we test if someone's a transgender? You put them under the hammer. You test them. And so I put on my most masculizing clothes, which is weird. It's a casual button-up shirt, all good for Sunday lunch, and some white tracksuit pants. Some white tracksuit pants to be... I put on white tracksuit pants. I had a train of thought, guys. It was here a second ago, trust me. Let me just get back there. What was I saying? What I was saying though is we're doing a little experiments just to see how it feels, cause like I've been wearing female clothes for so long now, like a good few months. Maybe it's time to dip my toe back in the other pool, see if anything's changed. And the results are so fucking inconclusive that I don't know what to do with myself anymore. Isn't that crazy, folks? And it seems like these early morning sessions before the artistic side of things, the sad fact is, Miss Bud, I have multiple fedoras. There was a phase in my childhood which my father really encouraged for some reason. He was crazy. He was like, get out there, son, go get him. Go get him, put a fedora on. You'll look amazing. You'll look like a sexy boy. And now I'll go get one of my fedoras. I just got a message, by the way. Let me check on that message. Ooh. Okay, and that's a message I'll respond to later. So, let me show you. I'm in luck. I've only got one fedora now. I've only got one fedora for this. Oh geez, that's a chair right there. Is the music still playing? Look at that sexy lad. Now it's a little bit stretched right now because it's across my headphones, but if I take these off, put this on, Malaysia, you know, how you doing? Is this what you think the stereotypical man looks like? I look like a man that Disney thought up. They were like, if this is what the cool kids are wearing, this dude works with technology. Malaysia. McCorkadale. McCaw. McDonald's. I'm not putting it back on. God, it's really sad. It's tragic when there's just no sense of self out there. There's literally nothing inside of here that's like, this is what this person should look like. Because, you know what's crazy? I fucking love how that dress looked on you, Miss Bud. And I wish I could look like that. And I think I can in certain ways. Like, I got a few skirts and stuff like that, a few dresses and things like that sort of push me up there, but nothing like that. You blew that stage away, Miss Bud. You fucking, if there was a mic, you dropped it. And in a good way. You're not clumsy. You might be clumsy, but not because of you dropping the mic. Well, no, because of you, not because of you dropping the mic. You dropped the mic in a good way, and you might be clumsy. You can always send me pics and stuff of me in various clothes. I don't know if you want, I'm a bit hairy. Like, not super hairy, you've seen me. But it comes back real quick. But yeah, that is a lovely dress. And I want it. I think I would look nice in it. But, see, point A, Well, point A. These bad boys. Now, I don't want to brag too much, but I used to get in the ring with punching bags, and I used to exercise as though I was going to get in the ring. And these bad boys, they came out. Unfortunately, I wish I had, I think it might actually just be my bones, honestly, which probably came out during childhood, and I'm really just bragging about being real muscly, which I am not. They cannot match to yours. You got S. And I think my hips would like come out the right, because you're right, the skirt puffs out, so it'd make my hips look bigger, which is a good thing. Muscly females are beautiful. I agree. I need to find a good, if I went on to date someone, I need to find a good bisexual partner who's like happy to hit the middle ground, or pansexual, or any of those things. But yeah, I'm dressed like a dude today, so we're experimenting. Before I had my hair tied back. I don't know, it's not like I hate this person. It's not like I look at this person and go, ew, it's disgusting, burn it. Which is funny, because that's what I sometimes do about me in feminine clothes. I'm like, ew, that's disgusting, burn it. But not in a way of like, I don't want to look like that. It's in a way of I want to look different and I care about it. Whereas this, I'm like, it's fine. Like, I look at this and I'm like, yeah, it's good enough. You like manly females and feminine males. But also the lumberjack long-haired muscly guys. Ugh. Don't get me started on the lumberjack long-haired muscly guys. See, there's a thing in many relationships that people talk about. Is this facing the right way? It is! As they talk about envy. And I don't think in many relationships. I mean, in one video that I saw that was a philosophy video where ContraPoints, who's a lovely lady who herself is transgender, which is very cool in my opinion. You might be able to guess why I think that is very cool. I'll give you 3 guesses. Wish I looked like her as well. But yeah, she talked about being transgender, and she thought she could only date someone else who was transgender, so there would be a level of... She's a lesbian as well, by the way. So she would be dating a transgender woman. So she was talking about the envy in that situation that she might feel for, and why she would actually find it quite difficult to date a transgender woman. But the thing, the little bump on the road that I find is that people I'm attracted to inherently, I'm attracted to qualities that I myself wish to have. Like, I like friendly people, I like outgoing people, I like people who use, do you know what's a massive, like, I'm gonna say the word turn on, but I don't mean turn on, I mean like platonic turn on. I mean like someone does something, I'm like, wow, you're a little cooler than the rest, aren't you? When people use funny turns of phrase that I haven't heard before. There was a girl who I was a little interested in 2 years ago, I think, whose name was Vanya, I think. We just called her V. But she always used the phrase, my guy. She was like, oh my guy, what are you even up to? And I found it the most thrilling thing whenever she would use the word my guy. I thought she was the coolest person. I had a friend of mine the other day who may watch this, I don't think they will. She used the word chomp chomp when describing a shark, and I was like, oh, I see you're a little above the grade, aren't you? But that's a tangent. The envy thing. I want to imbue qualities of everyone that are like, you, Miss Bud, you're lovely. Then Max. But this brings me back to my point. I remember I remember. Lumberjack long-haired muscly guys is what I was trying to be for the longest time. As a child, like, not very successfully. There was a phase as a child where I wanted to be a ninja. And not specifically a ninja, because I know that's a bit of a far-fetched dream, and I understood that, but I wanted to be gymnastic and martially capable in weapons and combat. And then somewhere along the way that transferred into lumberjack long-haired muscly guys. And then it became a woman, apparently. Maybe. But in a muddled up sort of way, judging by the fact I'm wearing these masculine clothes. And thinking of women are very hot. If only to be a shapeshifter. Then all my troubles would be solved. Then, let me check something. Women lumberjacks are actually very attractive. I'm going to check my bank account, is what I'm going to check. I've saved up a decent amount of money. And it's not like I'm going anywhere. Excuse my disgusting little face wipe. I've got $200. I got $200 that I can blast about. I'm not a millionaire, I'll tell you that much. Because this $200 is meant to last me like 2 months? Which is fine. Because there's a very good chance it will last me 2 months, because guess what, baby? We're in quarantine for the next while. I really mean a while. Excuse my another face, my grubbiness. But I did actually come onto this stream to do work. A little bit. Also to conversate. Conversate? What am I on tonight, Miss Bud? I'm using words like imbue and conversate. Like some wanker. The fact I live with my parents helps a lot. That means that money is purely what's the word? Like, I don't need to spend it on any important stuff like food and stuff like that. I can always find food. You're happy it looks. I don't know. I don't know if this is happy. Which is a annoyingly peculiar thing for me to say, I understand. But tipsy, I would say manic more than anything. I would say there's certain feelings that people describe, and like, I ask if like I've ever felt them, because I don't know if I have. Peculiarly, hunger and thirst. I'm sure at some point, like occasionally I'll be, maybe I live in a system of privilege where, you know, I've never had to experience true hunger. But I don't think I've ever particularly been hungry, which I think is a weird thing to say. Nor do I ever think I've particularly been thirsty. Like, I've occasionally been like, let's go grab some water. Or I'm tired, but never... Like, thirst feels like such a specific emotion to feel. But that leverages me into my next point. But that leverages me into my next point, which is, as an extension of that, there are other emotions that I don't know if I've really felt. And in truth, when I say that, I guess what I mean is felt strongly enough to define it singularly as that emotion. Like I'm sure, like I'm perfectly enjoying many of the moments we share and stuff like that, and I enjoy texting friends. But whether to define them, do you think you've ever had a moment, Miss Spud, where you've looked at it and gone, I was happy in that moment? And not as in like, you know, I experienced some level of happiness. You went and looked at a moment and went, the majority of feeling that I was having at that moment was happiness. Oh yeah. So that's my big question. Because I didn't know what to do. Okay. We're gonna have some directionality in these frames. So we're gonna Can you think of a moment that was close, Miss Spud? I hope not to have caused too much of a panic. I don't mean to cause too much of a stir. I think it's, did I make anything else after the first page? No, this is the second page now. Let's fix up that nose a little bit. Let's construct a nose. So we've got a mouth there, which I find so as well often. So I can relate to you there. Yes, I... Okay, how is the speech bubble gonna work? But yes, no, I understand the emotionless side of things, because, no, I feel that, because one of the big reasons I thought I was transgender, and still do, one of the big reasons I think I'm transgender, is the level of emotion I can feel about the topic. Okay. which I know it's something that has been fairly unusual for me, I think. But that just means it's a symptom. That doesn't mean it's not cohesive with any other conclusions. Like, simply feeling I could be easily... What's your most recent new thought or founding about that subject for you? Well, currently nothing. Well, actually, there were some clothes that I didn't like. That I got a bunch of hand-me-downs from a friend of mine. And among it were a few pieces that I tried on and went, I don't think I look so good in this. Which in itself isn't surprising. Like, having clothes that you don't think you look good in, that seems like a pretty regular thing. By the way, for this, we're having the action go this way, and then we'll have it go this way in this frame. It'll sort of like build its way down the frames. What's this? Over-the-shoulder shot of a large merchant looking greedily at the basket. And it won't actually be an over-the-shoulder shot, but it'll be like a... It'll be like the merchant peeking his head out here. So it'll be like... It's a fairly spooky face I've just drawn, to be honest. It'll be like the merchant poking his face out there. Yeah, so that was my most recent thought as to that, which is why I decided to try and put on these clothes today, these masculizing clothes, to just feel it out a bit. Yeah, he's actually quite disturbing. Okay, we're just gonna shape this a little bit to give it some dimension, and then we'll shade that as well. Do you prefer being feminine or masculine? And now that thing I find difficult. That question. I honestly don't know. Clothes-wise, okay. Well, over the last month or so, I've pretty much been wearing a bra and feminine underwear exclusively. I enjoy wearing skirts and stuff like that. What I enjoy often, funnily enough, is looking like a samurai, I think. With like a long skirt and an open shirt. I find that fun. But I also... Now this is I think a very mature concept, so prepare yourselves. I also want to be very much, I think, adored, like I want to be perceived and understood as sexual. Which I was thinking, you know, I'll try out Tinder, I'll try out Hinge, maybe there'll be something. Maybe someone will wish to have some mature relationship. I'm gonna tilt this camera a little bit more. And that was another thought I was having, which is something that I feel in feminine clothes occasionally. I feel more presentable. Tried Grindr? I haven't tried Grindr, but that's a peculiar one, I think, because while I do have a penis, Grindr is typically a man-on-man platform, which would incite some decision of my own, and I'm not even sure if my anus could withstand such abuse, honestly. But who knows anything about anal penetration? Being gay does not specify anal penetration. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and there's also the thoughts of people like I don't know, I also like the idea of a relationship further than that, you know? Like, I very much like the idea of, you know, seeing as we're talking frankly currently, I've also tried it. One day I went out of my house with my own money. I bought myself a I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to show it on stream, but I did buy myself a phallus, and it has entered my body. Is that how hands work? It's like, should cup in more, like that. That hand looks wrong. I feel like I could talk to you, Miss Bud, and I feel like these things deserve to be discussed. And with discussion of them comes better understanding, which is something I deeply desire. See, that's how hands work. Hands with the thumbs in the middle. But why does it look so weird? Maybe if I chop off this corner and made it a bit smoother. That looks really weird to me. Maybe it's the fact that this is too high up. Like, this should be more like this, and this should come in like that. Can you show me your hand up close? Nothing creepy. Sure. I don't mind. Even if it is something creepy. I've had a person masturbate to me on stream before. I'll do a slow rotation so you can get what you're looking for. Or you can tell me what position to put them in. This feels like very like art house, that's a good word, rather than sensual. This feels like very art house music to like just be. Whoa. Hand. What does it mean? From your thumb and pointer finger. That's such a good point. Oh my god, Miss Bud, you've solved it. I've drawn a block here and then the thumb coming out like up here. You've actually solved it. You are a genius, Miss Bud. Do you know what you solved? Okay. Deselect. Oh, that's weird. Now that's a little bit better. Oh, it's on one capacity. Very good. And we can redo this thumb as well. That was excellent work, Miss Bud. Speaking of our previous topic of conversation, that was actually another reason I considered I might be, you know, transgender. Is sort of pushing away That would have been crazy if I just had massively long thumbs and that was why in all my drawings. But no, I've got almost tiny thumbs, if anything, which is why it probably looks so weird. Something that works against the idea of me being transgender, I think, is the fact that I'm questioning it so much. I should clarify. I think I'm transgender. Full stop. But how far or what element, that's the thing that's confusing me further. So like when I say I'm not sure if I'm transgender, I mean I'm not sure if I'm want to transition to a woman. Yeah, and I get that as well. But there's definitely a lot of discussion online of people who like know from childhood. And another thing is, it's a point I'm considering, which is like, and again, the fact that I'm considering it, I think, is, you know, indicative of it being less likely. Is it too late to transition? Am I just, if I tried to transition, would I be stuck Because one of the things that I desired was to be appealing. If I've already gone through, you know, enough puberty that it would not be suitable. If I would not be desirable as I would like to be. If I may be blunt, and if I may be clinical, even further than blunt, how do you think they look now? Do you think they pass, is what I'm asking. Yes, she's happier now than before, because I reckon she's possibly more transgender. Like transgender was because the happiness indicates that she was transgender, which if I'm not, then the happiness that's like that's predicating that I would be happier to transition. Blue light. Blue light. And what's the final panel? Wizard passes the basket to the merchant in exchange for gold. Yeah, the nose doesn't shrink, the bones don't change much, so my shoulders would still be just as wide. My hips don't change much. They would get a little wider with fat redistribution. My brow bone or my jaw wouldn't change without. The nose can change, but it would take surgery. And let me just think. Sorry, the next frame is here. It goes down like that, and it's the wizard and the merchant exchanging gold. That's another thing I don't know, and I've thought about a couple of times. I use face app filters to change my face to see if I can make it look different. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I know there's definite things I don't like about my face, but I don't know if they're associated with my gender. I incredibly dislike my jaw. Like, if I sit up straight, it sort of disappears into the rest of my body. And I've exercised, I've tried doing facial exercises. There's a thing called muling. One of them's the thing that baby animals do, and the other one's a facial exercise that's meant to make your jaw more pronounced. I've tried a few different things, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying there might be a solution out there, but I haven't found it. Aside from surgery, because that's what I was thinking about. And a classic trait of female jaws is sort of this being shrunk back a little bit, and a different skull shape. Which I would think a smaller head would be better. I would like a smaller head. Are any of them my jaw? I would like a smaller jaw shape, and I think there is a potential correlation with being transgender. Like, I'm not particularly annoyed about my voice. It swaps and it changes and it goes, and I'm quite comfortable with it sitting where it is. Unless I'm thinking about the fact that I'm not comfortable with my voice. Like, if I'm comfortable with if I'm just fine with my voice, like, as I said before, I don't hate this. Just like, I think I could do better and I felt more emotion over there. Like, I'm not uncomfortable about my voice, which I think is a sign against the fact that I am female. Bottom. And that's all you're gonna get. No. Bottom surgery, though, is something that I think I do experience a lot of euphoria for. I think. Like, I very often would look at, excuse me if this sounds creepy, but I'm just saying it how it is, you know, classic straight shooter. But I would look at ballet dancers and certain models and swimsuits and things like that, and I would be like a little sort of jealous of the fact, or that was a strong emotion I would feel as I would look at it, and I would want like a smooth surface. I don't know, not a smooth surface, but not this sticky outy phallus I have. I'm feeling it a little more today, so we might do more than one page. Ooh. Maybe we might get to 4 pages, because I know that the 3rd page is a simple full splash page, which will be hard to ink, but it will be easy to sketch out. And thank you for saying that, Miss Spud. I think so as well. But I'm worried that that feeling would change if my cheeks moved up. Like, I think I would be a they them. That's not super in question. And that doesn't bother me too much. Like, I could flick a switch if I wanted to be she, her, and I enjoy people using she, her, and he, him occasionally. Not really, like, I don't care specifically too much about that one. But I enjoy people using she, her occasionally, and I enjoy they, them. But she, they gives off a weird vibe. Like, she, they makes people think, I think, that, like, that you begin with she and then became they, not that you begin with they and became she. But the question is further than that. Would I want to start hormone therapy or get a vagina? Those are the bigger questions. And would I like to start dressing more feminine and looking more feminine to people, which I know is easy to change, but it's still something to engage with people on. Like, I would have to engage with my uncle and further family, uncles, sorry, not just with my one uncle, and I would have to engage with friends that I've known for a long time and be like, now I'm dressed this way. And that's more of a decision, less of a decision than hormone replacement therapy. But still a big old step. But hormone replacement therapy is like bottom surgery. I think I could easily go a long time without that, and I could tuck and I could do things about that. But hormone replacement therapy, that's the real kicker. It's like, do I want it? How do I talk to it? Who would I talk to? And I think at heart, that's what I mean when I mean, I think, because I started off by saying, I think what it meant to be like I was talking about transgender is what I like to be a woman. And then I sort of took it back and I said, well, I like to be perceived as a woman. It's honestly not a great time to have a dom. Like, it's not an awful time. It doesn't really do that much. Occasionally you can like, I guess that's, apparently women orgasm in a different way as well. In a more whole body way. Whereas for men it's quite singular to the organ. Which actually does change with hormone replacement therapy, which I won't lie. I read that and I was like, that would be something I'd be more interested in. Apparently I would begin to feel more, which is something that I would be interested in. Yeah. Now, that sounds like an amazing time. And to be able to share that with someone else, that sounds quite ironically? No, not ironic, but orgasmic. I've got an actual question. Since we're being so open with each other, something that really confused me, which was, how do women pee? Because, like, and I understand the mechanics, like, pee comes out the pee hole, which I forget the name of. I think it's the urethra, but I might be wrong. But like, when I pee, I can like, my schlong, my urethra, if it's called urethra, I'm fairly certain, sort of faces a bit upwards, and you've got to like point it down. Do you know that penis actually changes size, or at least mine does? And so when I'm having a day where my penis is for some reason larger, it points down on its own. But with a woman, with a vagina, it sort of points like always vaguely forward. I was trying to like, do I, if I were to have a vagina, would I have to like lean my pelvis forward on the toilet to like make it more go downward? Or does it just like, do you just like, could you like sit with a straight back and it would go down? Or would it hit like the lid or something of the toilet? That's my big question. If you just sit up completely straight. Or you want me to do it? I don't know. Like this. So like this. Would it go down, or would it just like, or like with a dude you can sort of like, okay, forgive my vulgar positioning, but you can sort of just like aim it downward and sit like that. Or do you have to like, I don't even know if I could rotate, because my pelvis doesn't rotate, I rotate from the hips. Okay. It's off the screen, by the way. I don't know what you're gonna send me. I presume you're gonna send me a pic of you sitting. But the connotations are wild. Also, dumbass used a soft brush on this one. Whereas now I'm using a hard brush. Which is what I meant to use. Like, this is a good thing. Blue light. So he says the line, action comes that way, dude looking over there, and then baby getting transferred for money. Oh, it's not a baby, we don't know yet. See, it's just a sort of mistakable blob. It's a mistakable little loaf sitting in a basket. I think we wonk up the perspective on this one a little bit. Oh, I see I've got a message. I'll check that in just a second. Okay, let me look. So you sit just like that, and the pee just goes normally like down. Is that what happens? Because I honestly don't know. Honestly, with my Google searches, I probably just could have looked up. Excuse the pants. I'm lazy. What pants? Excuse the pants? Does that say pants? That says pants. What pants? But are you tilting your pelvis forward? Like, are you like curving your spine so that your pelvis tilts forward? Like, oh, are you like, I don't even know if I can do that. Maybe I just got too small of a butt. But no, I still don't understand. Is it, how often of a problem is it that it like goes the other way? Like goes down. Usually it just goes down. Okay. Sitting like that is perfectly acceptable too. See, now that's what I thought you would have to sit like. Very weird sending you pants pictures though. I'm not thinking anything of it. And if you are, feel free to delete them. Feel free to like unsend them. That just means delete. But know that I'm not thinking anything of it. I understand what you mean. Underpants, underwear, underpants. Yeah. But I'm not thinking anything of it. Let's talk boob size. What cup size would you have if you're going for them? That's a great question. Because I also don't know that. Like, thinking about being shirtless with boobs. Like, because I see someone, I like how they look, and I go, I want to look like that. Which works for people with boobs as well. I see someone with who looks good with their shirt off aesthetically, and I go, I want to look like that. How do we make this character look like? We're gonna make some shapes here that look unmistakably like arms and legs. Like that sort of looks like a bigger boobs make the waist look smaller. I think what I need to do is purchase for myself some essentially some larger boobs to try on. Because I know that I've got bras. Bigger boobs make the waist look smaller. I think I might like a smaller waist. I've got a waist trainer, a corset I wasn't wearing yesterday. I wore it for like 6 hours yesterday. Today I wore it for 8. And they say within 2 weeks I should experience some changes, but I'm a little worried about using that because I was looking up some stuff, and if you change it too much, like I've seen models, drag queens who have changed their waist quite extremely. And it sort of curves the rib cage in underneath. Okay. I'll take that advice. It sort of curves the bone rib cage underneath by sort of like incrementally forcing it to change. Restricts your breathing a little bit and can give you bowel problems by moving your intestines about. Like it's meant for girls with fat around their waists and hips, and even then it can still cause those same problems. I think I need to change perspective on this, by the way. 1 second. Yeah. We need to tilt this a little bit. Oh, that's not what we want. Give me 1 second. Control D. No. Where's D? Control D. Scary. Which bit's scary? I don't find boobs particularly scary. I find them enjoyable for myself. Or do you mean the dude's face just there? Changing your guts around. Yeah, that was actually quite scary because the irreversibility of them is what makes them the scariest to me. But hey, we've almost got 2 full pages of sketch for a comic. Yeah, it is very scary, and that's why I'm tentative to do it. Although I am doing it, but I'm doing it on a looser setting. I also think it improves my posture by just forcing me to like sit like this. Like the tribes that put hoops, yeah, exactly like that. It's very funny how people go like, "Ooh, how scary," but we do it all the time. Earrings, you know, waist training. I did say all the time, and then I could only list 2 things. I'm sure there are other examples, but not all the time. But I do know waist training is actually quite popular. I think what I would love to be is like a powerful lesbian woman with, and I mean that in aesthetics and a little bit in affect. I would be pansexual because I am pansexual as of currently. But I would like, I have long hair right now because I like the little bits of me it hides. I aim my shoulders and my chin sometimes. I need to use the loo in a sec, by the way, so I'll be back in a sec. And it feminizes me, which is something I like as well. But if I were feminine, I would maybe be able to cut my hair a little shorter while still appear to be female. Like I could get closer to a buzz cut or something, and that would be really cool. I do like my hair. Don't worry, I'm not changing it anytime soon. I like it. And the whole idea of, like, you know, to be adored by someone is, I think, often a patriarchal concept. And because of that, I apply to be adored by someone in a sort of sexual light like that is a patriarchal concept. And because of that, I apply patriarchal standards to it. So I should look submissive and breedable. Also, on a side note, all the camera focusing on it. So I actually had a miniature made. I had a little figurine made of this character for my up and coming D&D campaign. Because this is my D&D character. I don't know if you can see it very well. Will the camera focus if I put it in front of it enough? You can sort of see it. Sorry, I'm just having a hard time focusing this close as well, so forgive my spooky eyes in the corner. Notice, I don't know if you can see on there, I actually did put in some sneaky titties on this character. I was like, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be like strong and stuff, but also have sneaky titties. I don't have sneaky titties. I wish I did. But because of this little figurine, sorry for holding it up to the screen for so long. I was just thinking all the while as well. Because of that, what does this mean together? Ugh, see, like sometimes this, I wish this was more tighter, which I think is surgery, not exercise or anything. Because of this, we have a model to work off for the rest of our drawings of this character, which will appear in this piece. To be fair, the character in the shot is a baby. And we are actually I'm gonna try and grab a reference for this baby. Damn baby. I had a friend call me baby the other day, and I was like, oh, hello. Are we flirting right now? Babies in basket. I'm worried that I've used the term babies in basket. And I just want baby in a basket. Baby in basket. Now I'm actually going to use this as my reference. Did I show you my titties the other day? I don't know what I showed you. I think I showed you my titties. Well, I know I did, but I'm wondering what titties I showed you. Whether I showed you my nice ones or not. I'm certain I did. But they're the biggest I've gone, and they're like they're all quite small. Well, that's all I've got, but I'm wondering if it was a bra with padding or not. I think it was. But when I'm crouched over in this computer, nothing looks too good. I wish I could show you it standing up. Which I can, I know, but I don't know, that would mean things which is... Wait, no, don't, not this. I want you to change size of this image. Control T, there we go. I would have to take a sexier image for that, and I don't, and for that sexier image, I would have to, I don't know. I'd have to overcome a mental barrier is all I'm saying. And, well, not impossible. It would require certain levels of consent, number one, and
stuff like that. Okay, we're gonna make my baby character a little bit pudgier. A little bit more exaggerated. But are you ready for Warzone tomorrow night, Miss Bud? Excellent. And I get that this is a stream, but I don't want this conversation to be completely about me. But I'm trying to think up a good question, because a lot of the conversation about me so far has been, you know, what I don't like about myself, which I'm sure there'll be plenty more of that. So I think it would be obtuse for me to be like, you know, what don't you like about yourself? Because I don't. What do you think your best feature is? That's a nice thing to think about. And to encourage you to think about. Not that I think you need encouragement, but I always think it's nice to think positively. My eyes? But it's all you like, really. That deserves some discussion. I take it back. Why? That's my next question. Why is it all you like? What's my favorite feature about myself? My legs. I like my legs. I think they are long and I have shaped them to be muscular enough, but not too muscular. Okay, now this baby, my baby character is gonna have larger eyes. Okay. I think I've screwed something up. We'll see in a second. Oh, I don't like this baby. That looks fucking terrifying. That looks like a little alien thing. Ew. Okay. Because I've always been insecure about myself. I have a large nose. It looks like a guy's. Thin hair. Birthmarks on my face, which I hate. Big feet. No arse. Used to always be too skinny, but currently overcoming it. the default response to this, I think, which I think is suited for the situation, is Miss Spud, I think you're a goddess. Okay, let me try erasing some of these lines. That's better. My legs. Do you say that to everyone? I try to compliment everyone, but I absolutely think you're a goddess. I do mean it to everyone. I do try and compliment everyone. But truthfully, I do think goddess Miss Spud. Apparently I don't know how to draw baby faces. What is this abomination? You don't get to see my legs often. Then it's like grass comes around here, grass, or like hay, I guess not really grass. I'm trying to think. See, now that's a real baby face. Thank you for the reference. Yes, that's a real baby face. That's the issue. I'm trying to draw a cartoon. Because I could have just easily like traced this baby face and it would have technically been a baby. But I think that's a good enough baby face that you're like, oh, it's a baby and a cartoon. So I like this one. Thank you though for the reference. I might use it later, honestly, because there's a... Actually... No, this is the last shot of this baby. Okay. We'll bring a line down like that. Line over the top. Chop that line off there. Yeah, I did make him chubby. I did make them chubby. It's me. It's not me, but it's an author insert. Like I was feeling a certain way. I wrote this book. What did I write for this one? Title of the comic in my name. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have a title of the comic yet. Ganassi. Ganassi will be the title. We can delete this layer now. And we can merge these two layers. Merge layers. And then we've got like a stony perspective, which means it goes like that, 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 like that, like that. That, like that, like that, like that. Ganassi. Ganassi is the creature that it is in D&D. I do love me some Lauren Ipsum. Again, it just feels so professional. Sometimes I call it genocide, but I think its official name is Ganassi. I want to get the center on the canvas. Well, that's close enough to center. Yeah, Ganassi is the name of the creature that it is, because it's an air elemental, sorta. It's like a person that was infused with air when they were born. So it's, like with this character, it's blue skin, and it sort of has some elemental control. And it's the origin story for my D&D character. Created in all aspects. Oh. By oh god. I'm just I was like, what's my name? Do I want that name on this document? Ugh, the the confusion. No. Oh, there we go.
I have designed this speaker to amplify my thoughts so people will quit asking me for sandwiches. That should work, right? I don't know what you're talking about, Space.
So we got page 1, page 2, page 3. That's actually quite a well formulated page currently. Like, I would almost be happy with that as a final product. Be like, that looks nice. You can see what everything is on that screen. Now we're up to page 4. But yeah, I was in a specific headspace while I was writing this character. And so it actually touches on a lot of the things that we've talked about tonight. This character has trouble feeling. Like, there's a scene. This character is. Now, don't read into this too much. Or maybe you do. I don't know. I'm thinking about reading into it now, and it sent me on a little spiral internally. So this character is raped a couple of times. This character looks at a mouse. In this scene, it sees a mouse, and it's so this character. What happens in the story is this character is summoned by a djinn, a genie. These dudes are summoning a genie, and they summon it because, and it's not so much of a big deal to summon a genie in D&D world, because like it's like a powerful spell, but it's not like super powerful. It's not that uncommon, and so he summons it as like part of a contract. Summons a baby, which we don't know that yet. We don't know it's a baby, but then there's the merchant who grabs the baby for money. That's the transaction of it, and then that's the baby. So the baby is born into slavery, and so then female merchant, because I wanted to shock the audience, and I felt that, again, patriarchally, it would be more shocking for a female to be seen raping the Ganassi due to the motherly perspective we push upon women. Or at least the stereotype of women. And so in this scene, the Ganassi sees a mouse on the ground, and it cares for the mouse, it sees the mouse, and likes the mouse. Then the woman comes to rape the Ganassi, and that's these 2 pages. And then in this scene, the mouse dies, and the Ganassi is uncaring about that. Like, it did like the mouse, and it saw the mouse, and it existed with the mouse. But when the mouse died, it was just sort of like a, oh, so be it sort of situation. And then repeated shots because the Ganassi is in slavery. And then a black panel to show, this will be a pretty easy page to draw up because it is a black panel. Just to sort of like create a separation of time. Then a riot breaks out, and the Ganassi is watching from a window. Then the merchant that purchased the Ganassi sees it looking out the window, and as the Ganassi goes to take a step towards the window, the merchant stabs him, and he dies on the ground. That's the end of the story. It's quite a tragic story because this leads into our D&D campaign, which is about the next step of this story, which the character had to die, and then a god is going to revive it in the D&D campaign, and he'll become a dying god uses its last breath to revive a champion, and a few dying gods do this, and that's the party that I'm playing with. And so this is the story of the life and death of this Ganassi. But yes, it's an author insert because it was questions I was having at the time. Oh yeah, and like one of the things the Ganassi was gonna have done to it, which was going to be more obviously an author insert, was this Ganassi was going to be purposefully sort of flipped between genders for the use of sexual conduct, transitional sexual conduct. So that was going to be the jam of this one. The old bread and butter. And I think we've done 2 pages today, which is pretty good. And tomorrow I'll do maybe only 1 page tomorrow. Like, these pages are definitely going to be 1 page days as we do this. What I'm gonna do, Miss Bud. You can tell my mood sort of shifted because my voice changed to a higher pitch. Is I'm gonna open this ends in 1 day and 12 hours. And it's in 1 day and 12 hours, so I'm going to leave this open. I'll come back to it tomorrow, and if I still want it, this is what I aspire to look like as well. See, look at her jaw. Immaculate. Miss Bud, you are already 90% of the way there, and the 10% that you're not her is simply that you're a different person. Like, it's simply that, you know, she has a slightly different face to you, and personality, and You're a different person, but aside from that, Miss Bud, beautiful. I will disagree with you on that, Miss Bud, till the day I die. And you in the skirt is evidence of it. But that's all for now. Oh my god. A third person? Excuse me while I have a look on the chat. Not anyone that I know. But anywho, thanks for watching, Miss Bud. I'm gonna finish up for now. I'm gonna do some philosophy work. Get hopefully either 2 or 1 questions done for philosophy. And then who knows what I'll do with the rest of my time, whether I'll go to bed or not. No, I will go to bed because I'm gonna stay up late tomorrow night so we can play Warzone. Tomorrow night, text me when you're ready to play Warzone. And I'm clear in the night. As soon as you text, I'm ready. Good night, Miss Bud. Next time we do an art stream. Oh no, we won't be doing an art stream tomorrow night because we'll be playing Warzone. But yeah, text me when you're ready for Warzone and I'll come along. And if I'm still awake, see, my mood shifted, my pitch went up, and now all of a sudden, oh, he wants to be a girl. I've said everything I need to. Text me when you're ready. Oh yeah, and if I'm awake Friday next week as well, let's do it again. If you're free. Good night. Bye for now. I'm gonna do a long wave so they have a chance to catch up with the chat in case there's an important message. Cool. Good night, Miss Bud. Bye.